All right, I want to welcome everyone. We have a session today with H Mart, unlocking grocery profitability, leveraging marketplace integration, AI, and omnichannel innovation. My name is Michael Von Bedungen. I'm the general manager for VTEX for North America. I'll be your host today. I'm joined on stage today by Vince Colatriano. He's an executive vice president at H Mart, where he oversees e-commerce, including innovation, logistics, and results accountability for the operation since 2016. Vince has 30 plus years of experience in the supermarket industry and has previously held leadership roles at A&P, King Supermarket, and Pathmark stores. Thank you, Vince, for coming today.
Thank you.
I'm also joined on stage by Beth Ann Comencal. She is the Global Chief Commerce Officer for VML. Her firm was the agency and integrator for the build-out of hmart.com on VTEX. Beth Ann leads the overall creative and technology teams at VML that transform how people shop and buy. She came to VML through the merger with Geometry Global, where she was the global CEO. She lives nearby in H Mart, where she is a frequent secret shopper. Now, I have a quick question for those in the audience. How many of you are familiar with H Mart or have been to an H Mart store? Okay, so we have some that know it, some that don't. So we're going to start off with a quick video. Some of you that know the Late Late Show with Seth Meyers, I think you'll be able to appreciate this, but it'll give you a little taste of what H Mart's about.
Korean market is, wow. Like, you get to a certain age. I first went when I was 39. You go and you're like, I've seen every fruit. And there's fruits, jackfruit and durian. These look like avatar fruits. They're all new fruits. And H Mart, have you been to H Mart?
No.
Okay, so if you ever I want to go somewhere that's air conditioned, brightly lit, 30,000 square feet, and I will not run into a single person I'll ever seen before or since, go to an H Mart.
Great.
It's great. They got eels in a cooler. I don't know what my son thinks it is. My son's 2 years old, but I think he thinks it's like a museum, and it's a museum where you leave with a bunch of snacks.
What a great, fantastic
development
best. In your life.
So hopefully that gave you a little taste, a little humor. Vince, I will tell you, I can relate to that because I lived in Fairfax, Virginia, and I had an H Mart store just down the road on Gallows Road. And I remember my wife said, we need milk. I was coming home, wanted to avoid a little traffic, ducked into H Mart, and same experience. You get an overwhelming sense of really some neat foods that likely you've never seen before, and it's just an experience. And I think that's one of the great things we'll take away today from what we hear from Vince, but really want to appreciate the brand of H Mart. So I'll start out with a few facts. H Mart has over 102 stores in North America. They operate in 20 different states. They're responsible for importing 80% of the product that they stock and sell in H Mart. Another interesting statistic is that 30% of the shoppers are today non-Asian. So they cater to more than just an Asian community. On the website, the average order value is about $121, and the e-commerce has been in operation since 2003. So Vince, I think I'd like to start with you and just ask you to tell us a little bit about the history of H Mart.
Thank you, Michael. When Michael said, Vince, do you want to speak at the NRF? And I said, as long as I get to brag about H Mart, I'm in. So thank you. Our company was founded in 1982. The CEO opened his first store in Woodside, Queens. Since that time, we've grown to over 100 stores nationwide, including California and Hawaii, and continuing to open stores annually, I'll say. We opened a new one last week in Massachusetts, and this week later on, we'll be in Urbana, Illinois with a new location.
Fantastic, fantastic. So Vince, what do you think is the secret to success at H Mart?
I referenced the CEO a second ago. We are a family-owned business. The company, I'll say recently we had a celebration in one of our older stores in northern New Jersey, and I was with the CEO when he stepped out of line and grabbed a customer by the arm and just had a really nice, comfortable exchange. And when he came back, I said, was that a friend of yours? And he said, no, it's just a man who's been shopping in our stores for decades now. And I think that family connection really says a lot. I can tell you as a lifelong retailer that exchange really meant a lot to me, to see the connection to a customer after years and years. And that's part of the culture of what H Mart delivers.
Yeah. Beth Ann, can you speak to a little bit? I mean, you come from the agency world, you work a lot with brands. Like, what does H Mart do right about the brand that they have and how they work with the customer?
Thanks. First of all, happy to be here with both of you and to tell this story as well and get to brag about H Mart. And I'll start right there. When you are on the agency side and you're looking at both the technology implementation and bringing the brand to life and expressing it through the channels of retail and shopping, it helps when you have a very strong brand to begin with. And we didn't have to do any kind of marketing or packaging of the brand to elevate it and enhance it. It was there. So it was just about how you translate it in the digital commerce space and have that be really fluent and connected to the in-store experience. So I like to talk also personally because I live right next door, as you said. H Mart is my neighbor. And it is just incredible when you go in there. You know, you witness these generations that come together around shopping. And, you know, he mentioned the 2-year-old son. But it is genuinely like that inside, where you see these young children experiencing on the shelves products that brought their own moms and grandmas to life through the snack and through the familiarity, passing down of the cultural discovery and taste that is just magical. And so for us, it's really about how do you take that genuine moment that is happening in store and make it possible for everybody, you know, that's in this room and beyond to have that same kind of experience.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing journey to go into the store, and I know we'll get to hear more about that. We'll see that coming up in some of the videos here. Next thing I'd like to talk about, Vince, can you talk about the effect of the Korean and the Asian sort of wave in the culture right now, and what that means for H Mart?
I think everybody here has in some way been exposed or noticed the growth in Korean culture in our everyday lives, whether it be multiple sold-out nights at Blackpink at MetLife Stadium, whether you're in the middle of season 2 of Squid Games on Netflix right now. And I'm happy to say even one of our customers even wrote a best-selling book titled Crying in H Mart. H Mart has benefited from that popularity, but I must say we're not riding a wave. We're part of the engine that's growing. We're part of what are creating the awareness, particularly when it comes to food culture. And that's part of our mission statement, increase the growth of Asian food culture in the U.S.
But doing it in a sustaining way. You know, I think it's worth calling out that you can tell this isn't just about a meme or a moment in time. This is definitely about bringing people into a brand and products that will be sustaining over time, and they're going to constantly be discovering new as they open and broaden their palate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's interesting, I read an article in the New York Times about H Mart, and they talked a lot about just the experience that people have going into the store. And I think one of the things I took away is that for people from Asia, it's a way to feel connected to home. And I think the opposite effect is for the people that are non-Asian. They go in and it's an experience. And I think we all know in a post-COVID world, people are out to have really interesting experiences right now. You know, people are flying to Greenland and Mongolia and different places that they're trying to expand their horizon. So I think that's fantastic. And the other thing that stood out to me in that article is that your president, Brian, talked about the need to educate people. So when you come into the store, you know, you have tastings and other things they can get to experience. And I think it's really special. The other thing I was going to call out in the Fairfax store, they made a big deal about showing that they actually will carve a tuna, you know, in front of the audience, like 160-pound tuna. So again, the experience comes through in the engagement.
I love how you guys want to share your H Mart experience. Thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, let's talk a little bit about e-commerce. Vince, can you tell us a little bit about the role of e-commerce, what you did with VTEX?
So for customers that can't get to our store, we have hmart.com. I mentioned we've been around for 40 years, but we're looking at the next 40 years of growth. And I would say on our e-commerce side, compared to most published supermarket results, we are underdeveloped. We're not happy with that. We think we can grow tenfold, and it's one of the reasons we decided to change our platform. The company continues to invest not just in e-commerce, but we are expanding our warehousing, our IT infrastructure, e-commerce specifically. And selfishly, I have to say, we have just created a strategic improvement team, And I will be recruiting for that. So if anybody knows somebody to talk to me after, I'd really appreciate it. So.
Beth Ann, what do you think makes the e-commerce experience on hmart.com special? Like, how do they blend the physical and the digital experience so that it comes across to the consumer? Because I know that's something that your firm specializes in.
Absolutely. And I do want to just make sure that I underscore the fact that you just put like a recruiting statement out there as a public service announcement. So if you're looking for a new job or know someone who is, that's
Be a part of a growing company.
exactly. It's tricky because again, you want to do justice to discovery of new products as well as now using AI to be predictive about what people based on buying habits from the past are going to want. We see the same thing when it comes to the average order size. So we know people are going in there and buying a significant amount of their shopping. So it's not just like a fill up, the pieces that are Asian or the, different types of food that are specialties, but it really is about going there and doing your whole shopping. And so what we're focused on is delivering for the consumer the way they want to be experiencing the brand, and recognizing that based on all of our other research for every grocery business, having multiple channels where people are shopping is the best for longevity and for sustaining a very loyal customer. So we're really trying to build around that right now. And then recognizing that in urban centers where a lot of your H Marts are right now, that even in New York, when you live right next door, your ability to still have a compressed commerce moment where you're going online and making sure that you're, exactly what you need when you need it is also delivered to your door is as important than the Saturday afternoon shop that you might have to be in store. So we're really trying to make it as convenient as possible for our consumers and then use the site to be agile with promotions and with content and with teaching and with demos and with learning. And I think that, like as you said, we're just beginning to scratch the surface of the role that e-commerce can play for the brand.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the key things that you all have done a great job at. If you see the screenshots that we show up here, is really driving engagement, addressing the consumer, having the multilingual site, right, to address both communities. It's fantastic to do and bring people to the store. And I think when you have in-store events, that's the other way you use the digital channel, right? You advertise, you drive people in, because you've always said it's about the experience in the store at the end of the day, correct? Okay, super. All right. So we're going to play another quick video, and this will show a little bit about the whole experience. And we'll talk a little bit about how H Mart fulfills their orders.
There's no sound on the video, so you're not repeating.
Okay, I think I'm back. So Vince, can you tell us a little bit about how fulfillment takes place? I think we're going to see a video here that shows your micro fulfillment warehouse. Yeah.
So when customers enter our website, are we good?
Yeah,
All right.
good.
When customers enter the website, they have a bilingual experience, so they can choose their native language and make them, again, comfortable and feel at home. We have two fulfillment centers. One is in New Jersey. I think you're seeing video here of our auto store pack and pick operation. This enables us to get excellent throughput, very low startup training for our associates, and been very satisfied with the results. On the West Coast in California, we do a store pick operation, and we use VTEX pick and pack system. Again, we've had the same ease of operation. Once orders are packed, they are shipped either here in our local truck, H Mart branded trucking, or if it's out of state, we use FedEx and UPS. One of the things that makes us a little bit different than a lot of supermarket fulfillment places is that we do not offer a BOPIS or in-store pickup. And it's because what I've said all along, we offer a lot more than just pick up your groceries. We want people to come in, say what a great experience they have, and tell their neighbors.
So Vince, maybe just a question for you. You have this very automated micro fulfillment center that's based here in New Jersey.
Yep.
Services, I don't know, 100-mile radius, 70-mile radius?
Actually, thanks to some excellent cold chain management, I think we're definitely south of Washington and north of Boston right now. So
Okay. And one of the things I remember you told us is that your ability to train employees in that warehouse is less than a day, correct? I mean, it's
It's pretty much in an hour we have people being productive.
yeah, so amazing. And then you're using our pick and pack technology on the West Coast, so that's while you
Correct.
work to scale, correct? But at some point you'll go to more automation in the future there as well.
And in addition, I must say we intend on adding a third pick and pack location this year. So again, you'll be part of that.
Yep. I think the other thing I wanted to call out is that since you're selling both fresh and dry goods, you have to be careful about where the radius is, right? What you can ship and what you can purchase. So I think we've worked pretty close with you using our marketplace and fulfillment architecture to ensure that only the products you can order are shipped to the right location.
You do. The platform, the software enables us to just key in on customer zip code, decide which fulfillment center is going to get the product, whether it's east or west. But in addition, to your point, if it's outside of our ability to maintain a proper cold chain, we restrict those items from the customer even seeing them. We just offer what you can buy and enjoy.
Perfect. Okay, so I think this is one of the more interesting topics with H Mart. They run a marketplace operation, and I think, Vince, if you could tell us a little bit about how you do it, how you're leveraging it, and how you serve multiple countries.
Absolutely. So we have offices multiple offices in Asia, as well as our headquarters here in New Jersey. And sometimes we need to offer products that are not easily found, or we're not able to get enough quantity into our distribution center. This enables us to test products prior to importing them to the U.S. Sometimes the products we offer are available in limited quantities. Even if you live in Tokyo or Seoul, they're not easily found. And this test just enables us to say, great, it works. In addition to that, a lot of our customers have family in Asia or Korea specifically, and they're looking to send gifts for special holidays or whatever's needed. You can go onto our website, order product, and have it delivered right to your family's doorstep in Seoul. It's part of that overall family connection that our brand offers. They have trust from seeing our stores, and they get to express that family experience to their loved ones that are far away.
And Vince, I think you're looking to expand your marketplace assortment, right? Like this is the growth area for you?
Absolutely. Again, this is one of the places we're looking to say we can do better at. It's a win-win. It exposes suppliers to a new customer base, but also reduces my inventory holding costs.
Yep. So Beth Ann, I know your firm advises a lot of clients. What's your advice to people that want to embark on the marketplace experience, whether it's in grocery or an adjacent industry?
I think you have to think about it as you're verticalizing your business opportunity and you're thinking about new business models and new revenue streams. This whole conversation is titled profitability. So what are going to be the profit drivers? So one of the things that we're seeing, and I know the conference is talking about a lot, is retail media networks. And I think, marketplace makes it ripe for thinking about the opportunity that a retail media network is, especially when you have a unique captive audience that then you're able to think about, okay, what does driving conversion mean with that audience? What does entertainment and engagement mean? And how important is that audience to other brands, whether they're brands that you're already selling? And as we talked about the unique mix of brands you have some really large brands that are selling through that we all are very familiar to from a more of a North America headquartered standpoint in the mix as well. And so the fact that then you're opening them up to audiences in different ways and different communications than they've maybe had before. And I think the thing that becomes really interesting is when you start to think about retail media networks for non-endemic brands. Great example here. Like oftentimes we're trying to figure out like what is the right way in. But for this, like you think about, I'm planning a trip to Korea or to Japan. I'm thinking about going to the museum that has an interesting exhibit. I'm thinking about going to Lincoln Center that's, doing a very interesting ballet, that is relevant to the consumer. So it starts to be a very attractive environment for a non-endemic brand to think about the full funnel advertising moment as well. And then the partnerships, like if you're thinking about a delivery, a DoorDash, or the opportunity, a Netflix, as you said, you can start to really expand how you're thinking about both revenue opportunities, but also ultimately consumer-centric ways of expressing the brand and bringing it to life for the consumer.
Yeah, our brand obviously resonates very strongly with the Asian American community. Just happy to say that we are definitely the best way and the most frequent way to reach that customer. for people that are reaching out and looking to expand their regular base. So.
Yeah, and I know for us as a platform, we see the opportunity for advertisers to come in and work with brands and retailers. So we're actually have developed a product called VTEX Ads that will support operating that ad-centric environment inside the site, whether it's boosting, products to the top of the search, finding the right placement on pages like the homepage or category landing pages. So we too see that this is a huge opportunity for our customer base, and we want to be there right alongside.
Actually, I can jump in there because it's easier for me to promote you than for you to self-promote. And I know working with Vince that one of the reasons that VTEX was chosen was because of your marketplace capability. So one of the absolute best. And then, of course, we work with other companies, and there's nothing like VTEX when it comes to the level of functionality that you're able to bring to the solution.
Thank you. And we appreciate that. So I think we want to talk about one more thing kind of here at the end. Obviously, there's a lot of buzz in the industry about AI, where it fits. And Beth Ann's firm really had a great thought leadership piece that they published recently, talked about compressed commerce. But I think the other thing I took away was this human touch in a transactional world. And I wonder if you could speak just a little bit about how you balance the blend of both taking advantage of AI against still having that human touch right in the experience.
Well, just as we talked about the discovery or the rediscovery of brands that matter to our lives, when you're talking about the generations that are going into the store, it almost makes it feel human because the relationship and the sensory experience goes back to a dinner table, gathering around as a family and moments that matter most in people's lives. So you want to figure out those moments where the humanness of the brand is experienced at the greatest level. And how do we be an enhancer of that, an amplifier of that? And so it's not about replacing that human aspect. Even if we have chatbots and we have things that we can automate, how is that still have that human voice, the natural language aspect of search that comes into this now, enabled by AI though, but that still makes it feel more human to the person on the other side. And we see it's this balance between people really wanting AI to improve the personalization and the experience that they have, remove the friction, compress the commerce at times, but do it in a way that is still making it feel like a human to human interaction as much as possible.
Yeah. We're working very hard to infuse AI into our product base, and both in a post-purchase world, but in the actual path to purchase world too. And I can imagine a world where people come to your site and say, "I want to make Beep and Bop tonight," right? So out comes a list of products that you want to make. And I think to me that's the power, especially with food and that space where we'll get to see more that starts to happen.
We see that potential and are anxious to leverage it. Next steps.
Yep. Absolutely. So perfect. All right. We're coming to a close here. What I wanted to just talk about briefly was we do have a case study. We'd like to offer you a chance to download it that talks about what was done with H Mart. If I were to summarize kind of the talk and sort of the three major points that we've discussed today, one of them is really consider marketplace. I think Vince is given a great example. Beth Ann's talked about like the value of it. But test products, right? You don't have to take inventory cost and carry it. You can find these third-party sellers and really monetize the traffic, in your case, a very specific audience, and bring that to life. The second one, I think, be flexible with your fulfillment. That's really I think the power of what Vince has done. They have a very automated micro-fulfillment operation in the Northeast. Out on the West Coast, they fulfill out of a store, leveraging our pick and pack product. So know when you need to make that investment and then scale. And then finally, I would just say there's culture in the human touch. What we were just talking about, the brand of H Mart. I think when you have an opportunity to really leverage a wave or a cultural phenomenon or drive that phenomenon, then it's all the better. And we know customers want the experience. They want to go back to a place that they feel a part of. And I think you guys do that in spades. So it's a wonderful example. So with that, I wanted to just mention too that we are hosting an event tonight with Simone Biles and Rebecca Andrade, and that will be VTEX Connect. And you'll get a chance to meet us there at the event. And so if you haven't gotten your tickets, please come and stop by our booth. And really with that, we wanted to give a chance to open this up to questions. So at this point, we're going to have somebody that will have a mic that can walk around, but the floor is open if you'd like to ask a few questions.
We'd just like to say with these two superstar women's from the Olympics this summer, if you don't know, VTEX was first founded in Brazil.
Yes.
So this is such a great visual for your business because it's like the best of the US meeting the best of Brazil.
It is. And it will be a great event. And we've worked very hard, prepared a lot. And I have to thank all the people in this room, VML as well, to a sponsor for pulling off this event. All right. Any questions we can answer?
We nailed it.
All right. It sounds like we got one. Okay.
Hi, good morning.
morning.
I'm Karina. And I want to understand more about H Mart. How do you guarantee the same speech and the same training for all your stores? And how can guarantee this speech and this unified for e-commerce experience too? So I want to know a little bit more about that. Your challenge.
Well, it is a bilingual workplace as well, in our stores and in our warehousing. All of our communications are actually inter-office and customer-facing. Customer-facing, it's usually everything is printed in 2 languages. Inter-office, it's either 2 or 3, depending on the audience. We make sure that there is a bilingual staff in every one of our customer-facing locations. So there is somebody available to help and also hopefully to help educate about some of the new products that we have. Social media is pretty good help for too, I must say. Our Instagram is pretty special, but there's a lot of YouTubers walking up and down our aisles helping to push the products that we offer.
TikTokers.
TikTok.
On TikTok all the time.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
Hi, Brian Gildenberg.
Hey, Beth Ann, how are you? One, love your guys' stores. They're amazing. My question is, this presentation so far has been blessedly free of AI, but I am curious in this environment. It does seem like because of the multilingual nature of the interaction with the consumer and because of the breadth of understanding that is so key to H Mart's brand, that AI would have some really interesting applications going forward, either digitally or in store. Just curious to see how you're thinking about how AI will complement the great team and people that you have to help expand the service proposition.
I can tell you we're constantly looking at new methods to improve our brand. We did try a customer service-based AI, I'll call it over 18 months ago. Ultimately, we thought we could do better. We weren't satisfied with the product that we tested at that time and the effort that was required. So, we haven't shut the door to say, well, one and done, but we haven't found the right solution that we're comfortable with to take away that human interaction.
I mean, from a e-commerce standpoint, it's certainly being built into our roadmap in terms of how we think about the features. And we talked about search and discovery, loyalty. So it will be something that I think is somewhat invisible to the consumer, but is enhancing of the experience more and more over time too.
Sure. Yeah. And I would offer too that if you want to come by the VTEX booth, we have a great demonstration that we can show where that technology AI is being infused into our product as well. So especially around the search and discovery side of it too. Other questions?
One in the back.
Hi, thanks so much for the presentation. I was wondering, I'm unfamiliar with how well your stores or how broadly your stores tailor their assortment and how that plays into what you show online and offer for online sale.
Good question, by the way, because that is an area that we're continuing to expand upon. Most of the products that are online are self-imported and come through our own distribution centers. We do rely on some outside distribution centers as well to stock the stores. And that's right now on our website. Honestly, it's being treated more as a fill-in, top sellers only, and we haven't expanded the assortment yet. Future-based, it is our intention to definitely expand the assortment to come closer to matching everything that's in a store.
All right, do we have any additional questions? I know we're right about a time, so I just wanted to finish by thanking both Vince and Beth Ann. You guys have been great partners. These projects are never easy. I think we worked through everything we needed to do, but you've been a great customer for us, and Beth Ann, your firm has been a fantastic partner for us, and so we really appreciate it. I want to thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.